Hey,
What's up,
hey.
everybody? How y'all doing today?
All right. So if you clicked on this video, you got some decisions to make, and you don't know if you should make it. You don't know if you should stay or go. So hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to clear that up. But before we get started,
Yes.
with Terrence and Jill, a God-Ordained union,
Yes.
we're looking forward to our 3rd-year anniversary of marriage later on this month. So you're in the right place at the right time, because all we want to do is help increase kingdom marriages.
Yep. And because we've only been married 3 years, we don't give relationship advice. No. Definitely not marital advice. We ain't been in it long enough. No.
What we do is we share our experience. We share what we've gone through when we was in God's elevation room. Some of you call it God's waiting room. I call it the elevation room.
Single season.
Yes. So we can help guide you through that season, because we've already been through it.
Yep. So if you're feeling like, where's my person? What's wrong with me? I'm tired of waiting. Will I ever be married? We understand. We've been there. I was 52 when I walked down the aisle, and 48 when I came across Terrence. And I usually say it that way, or we say it that way. I say it that way is because men really, it ain't an age thing with men. But for women, we usually look at the biological clock. And so if God can do it for me, he can do it for anybody. Because I had some challenges. I had some blocks. And so we share those. We got tons of videos talking about what was blocking me from marriage. So if you are dealing with that, you're on the right channel. Please subscribe. Yeah, we do videos. We drop pre-recorded videos every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. and every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. We also live chat if we're available. But those are when the videos are released. But we also go live on Tuesdays.
Yes. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. And we may consider going, as the summer comes, we might go later, maybe 8 p.m. only because, it's nice outside. A lot of people, may not get in. So we don't know. But yeah, so until then, catch us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also invite you to our personal circle where our family gets together.
Yes.
And our extended family. My mom leads us in prayer and supplication, intercessory prayer every Friday night at midnight. And so, for 2 hours, we go in and pray. And so if you have a prayer request or if you're dealing with anything, you need to get some breakthrough, definitely consider joining us. We'll put the information below, the Zoom link, and how you can join us for prayer on Friday.
Yes, and ain't nothing like it. It is powerful. These women are prayer warriors. They have been there, done this. They have fought the good fight, and they're still willing to help us learn how to fight that same fight ourselves
in prayer,
and take it down to the next generation through prayer. So please join us, because it can definitely elevate you through whatever you're going through and help you get yourself to the next level.
There are many subscribers that join us and have had breakthroughs, testimonies, or emails are coming, testimonies, their prophetic words even coming through on at midnight, at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. prophetic words are coming through. So consider joining us. All right.
So today we got a very good video for you. So get your notepad out.
Yeah.
It's about to be on.
Yes. So you all some of you may be in a situation where you met a good person, or what you deem as a good person. It could be an Ishmael, and 9 times out of 10, it probably is. For those of you who don't know, we always talk about the counterfeit always comes before the real person, the God-ordained person. And so we take that from the Bible, where God had promised Abraham and Sarah a child, a son, and Sarah didn't believe, or she was impatient for whatever reason. And she told Abraham to go and have a child, a son, by their maid. And so they produced a son called Ishmael. And while Abraham loved his son, that was not the promise. That was that God gave them their permissive will. So Ishmael came, but God had promised them Isaac, and so Abraham had to be obedient to the Lord and had to send Ishmael on his way. But the Lord said, but there's Ishmael is still going to produce a great nation. Yes. So it's not that it's a bad person per se, but it's just not your person.
It's just not God's perfect will.
Right.
It's his permissive will.
It's his permissive will. So a lot of you are in situations where you're with someone, and it's your choice, but it's not Isaac. And so when you get Isaac and you are in the will of the Lord, there's some miraculous things that just happens. And so you're probably in a situation where you're with the Ishmael and you're thinking about, do I send Ishmael on his way?
Yeah. And you're confused about it.
Yes, and you're confused. So let's talk about it. So usually with the Ishmael, you get an attraction. There's an attraction, which we say that's the first. You attracted somebody. It seems like a good thing, and so the attraction comes. And so when to know when you should walk away from that person.
And before we get deep into this, just know the Ishmaels aren't bad people.
Yeah.
They are not bad people. They're not people that's trying to waste your time. These are people that is going to house all the characteristics that you've probably been looking for, you've been waiting for. But again, it's the difference between God's permissive will and God's perfect will.
Yes.
That separates the two.
Yes. So the first sign or indication that you should walk away is that you're intentionally ignoring God. So we always talk about how if the person is pushing you away from God, but sometimes you can be with a person and you knew you had an assignment in your single season, let's say to start a youth ministry, let's just say, but you get with this person and y'all are quote unquote dating, and you're ignoring what God told you to do in this single season. You're ignoring what God has told you to do, and so that is an indication that this person probably is
the Ishmael.
The Ishmael. You should probably walk away. The second thing is when when he or she conflicts with your moral beliefs and with your morals and your beliefs. And so a lot of men say, I'm spiritual. So is Ishmael. And so just so you know, it is believed that Ishmael represented the Muslim generation. Of course, Isaac represents, quote unquote, the Christian, the Christ followers. And so you could definitely, if you have one spiritual belief and he has another, you can both be quote unquote spiritual, but you're just not in alignment. You don't have the same spiritual beliefs. And that also goes with politics. Not that you can equate the two, but if you have two conflicting views on politics, which has an effect on your household. So it doesn't matter if it's the Mickey Mouse party, as long as the two of you are in agreement,
have a single eye for your house.
Do what you do. But if there's a conflict and you in the party you want and the party he or she wants is going against your morals and your beliefs, then that may be an indication that you need to walk away.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
It's time to move on. The third thing is when he or she is fruitless. There's no peace. Like the person has no peace where it is disrupting your peace. Where the person has no patience with you. Also, no self-control. One of the fruit of spirit is self-control. So if that person is pressing you for sex and pressing you to do things that does not that they don't have any type of self-control or any type of standards, you may probably need to walk away.
And this goes also to, in relation to that, sometimes you're going to have somebody that's going to say, well, God will forgive you. You got to check that.
Yeah.
You got to check that. You can't do things that is out of alignment with God on purpose, knowing that all you have to do is repent immediately after, because now you're playing games, and you don't want to play games with God. So if somebody is, like she just said, is getting you to challenge your beliefs and your convictions, then you might want to say, yeah, it's time to walk away.
Yeah. And if it happens, it happens. You both get up and you realize we made a mistake. That's different. And that's a type of person you want to hold on to. Yeah. If you both say, okay, we shouldn't have done that. We know
you're wrong.
We know we're wrong
because you know you're wrong.
Right.
And you repent with the right heart.
With the right heart. But we're talking about someone who
over and over and over again.
And has no self-control. That has, and they're pressing you and they don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah. They see nothing wrong with it. At that point, at some point you're gonna have to, make a decision. And it might not necessarily be to walk away from the relationship but if the person, if you say, okay, well, I think we need to stop this. And if the person got a problem with it, well, why? I mean, that's something natural. That's something then maybe you need to walk away. Then at that point, maybe you need to walk away.
Absolutely.
Number 4 is when your spirit is unsettling. You don't know what it is, but there's something, you're discerning something. Your spirit is just unsettling about the person. You might not ever know, but listen to the Holy Spirit and you need to walk away. You need to, something's off. Something is you're discerning something in your spirit, then you need to walk away. And let me tell you how, that's why you got to use wisdom. That's why you got to really be in tune to the spirit. What is a lot of what is happening that's going around. There's a lot of marriages and relationships where the man is killing the wife. There's a lot of homicide, suicide. So he's killing her and then killing himself. There's a lot of homicide, suicide, which that spirit can come probably from generational patterns and curses. Yes. And so if you're feeling something in your spirit, it might look like a great situation on the surface. But if you're feeling something in your spirit, if something is unsettling, walk away. Walk away. Walk away from it. Even though it might seem like he's great or she is great on paper, and they're doing all the right things and they checking all the boxes and you having a great time when you go out on date night or whatever. If something is unsettling in your spirit, yes, walk away. And it may be for you to walk away so that you can get, so that you can clearly hear from the Lord. And maybe
get some
distance
emotionally
and spiritually. Yes. So that's number 4. Number 5 is when he or she is content with the current level you are on. There's no elevating and there's no vision for the relationship. And usually when the person is content with that level, the man, correct me if I'm wrong, the man probably don't see you as the one. Like he is going to occupy.
When we find the one, she is going to elevate and stir up everything inside of us that makes us want to be better, that wants us to go to the next level, that wants us to be closer to God. Is men, when we're with the right woman, she gets us to a point where we don't even realize, but all of a sudden we getting up saying we got to go and get this plan in the action. We're going to want to do it to the point to where we don't even know sometimes why we want to do it. We just want to do it because that's what she wakes up in us.
Yes. And so if he is still with you and there's no talk of marriage or you all going to the next level, he's probably using you to buy time. And he's probably content until he, quote unquote, finds the one, or just he all right where, he or she is. And so,
and be careful with this. I just thought about this morning. I saw someone send a comment to us on one of the videos, and she just triggered something that could be related. There are some states that have what they call common law marriage. So you need to have enough discernment to figure this out before that time frame goes past. Or according to that state, you're married whether you want it to be or not.
Yep.
If that was the right person or not. By law, you're going to be held responsible as a married couple in those particular states.
Yes.
So you may want to really be cautious of that if you live in a state that recognizes common law marriage. to make sure you know for a fact that is the person you want to be with, whether he puts a ring on your finger and y'all get married or whether that time frame elapses. Know that before then.
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. Which goes into number 6. There's no connection. There's an attraction there. She's attracted to him. He's attracted to her, but there's no type of deeper connection. And so when you meet someone, and this is particularly for women, well, both. I'm going to say both sides, but if you don't wake up the king in him, it's going to go back to number 5, where they might be with you, but they're just content. They really don't feel for you. Yeah. So if you don't wake, and it's the same thing with men. If he doesn't say, okay, that's bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, like that is the one. And that is almost immediately. And that is definitely at the, when you are in the same, physical space, which goes back to where it seemed like it was a long time that Terrence and I were getting to know each other, but it was quick from the time that Terrence saw me to the time he proposed marriage. From the time he saw me and the time, it was a few months. It was 4 months or 5 months. And so usually they say a man will know within 6 months if that's the one. But we were talking even before them on the phone. But yeah, if there's no connection and it's a dead situation where y'all together and y'all going to the movies, but it's not really, y'all going to dinner, but there's no, like, he doesn't have a spark in him, and he doesn't have like he want to conquer the world. Like, you waking up a vision in him, probably need to walk away. Like, y'all just wasting each other time. So, number 7, there are communication barriers, which means that you're hesitant to have deep conversation, or he or she goes silent without having an explanation or an apology. If they go silent, because at the end of the day, when a man wants you, he wants you. And ain't too many silent days won't go past.
Yeah, when a man wants you, women, the one thing that should be a very easy thing to recognize is he's going to change his schedule to make sure he has time for you. He's going to start putting you into his calendar, to making sure that he's wanting to be closer to you. He wants to be in your presence. He's wanting to be around you. He won't be trying to get time away from you. That's the opposite of a man that really wants to be with somebody.
And he wants to talk to you. He wants to communicate with you. He
wants to hear your voice.
He wants to hear your voice. And so there are times, we did a video on this, when someone could go silent, when he could go silent. And it could be for the very right reasons. It could be that it's the time of year when they, when a loved one passed away and they go silent. But there is an explanation for it. Like, when they call you, I just was having a moment. Yesterday was just a bad day. It was, the 1-year anniversary of when my grandfather passed away, and there was an explanation with it. If there are communication barriers, I always say, if you can't talk to a person about anything at the right time, at any time, if you can't talk, people always say, I could talk to him or her about anything, but can you talk to them at any time? And that is if you don't have, I remember times when, like, I will wake Terrence up in the middle of the night. Baby, I got something to share with you. I got something to tell you. Even when we were dating, I would, text or call or whatever and say, listen, there's something I gotta tell you. I
just had a dream.
I just had a dream, or guess what happened to me on a job, or, being able to be. But if you feel hesitant, like, I don't want to call him, or I don't want to text him, or I don't want to, if you feel that there's a communication barrier, you may need to walk away, because you don't trust that he's going to respond.
And where your need is at that moment.
Yes. Number 8, unresolved conflict. And that is anytime there's a disagreement, because you will have disagreements. But if there's a disagreement and it is unresolved, there's just a band-aid put on it. There's no coming to a meeting of minds or understanding. There's no room for each other to offer understanding, or there's just unresolved conflict, which results in resentment. So
it keeps showing his head time after time after time. Things are going great, and all of a sudden, bam, it shows back up.
Yes.
And you just can't get past that one thing that might be a sign. Yeah, it's time to
walk away.
It's time to acknowledge that that's going to be a hindrance for us.
Number 9, when you are in a relationship out of fear, meaning that your biological clock is ticking and you're in it because you want children, or you're getting older, or you don't want to be the only one out of all your girlfriends without a spouse, or you're fearing that if you don't, a good one is if you fear you got to be with this person because the economy is messing up and everybody's losing their jobs, and how are we gonna afford? How am I gonna afford this rent or this mortgage by myself? So anytime you're operating and you're being with someone out of fear, you probably need to walk away from it.
Wow.
And then number 10 is simply, if you're confused about the entire thing, where you're going, what he wants, what she wants, I'm confused. If you're confused about anything, it's time to walk away. And let me tell you something, walking away is one of the, a big faith move. So a lot of people say, we say it all the time, getting into a relationship is a faith move, but walking away is also a faith move. And you walking away because you believe that God has something better or different for you, that God has your Ishmael, your Isaac. God has your Isaac, or as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So Isaac was the one who married, which one waited for Rebecca? Leah, and he waited for the sister. Yeah. So even if, even having faith to wait for the right one, even, walking away and waiting, God honors that. And so
and that's a good example, because when it comes to Rebecca, he not only gave up 7 years, he gave up 14.
Yes.
He waited for her for 14 because the first time he got cheated. And he was willing to give up another 7 years of service to a father.
Was it Rebecca? Yeah. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
So yeah, he gave up 14 years for Rebecca.
Yeah. So yeah, he wanted the sister, but the custom was that the oldest sister had to get married first. So Rebecca was the younger sister. Is that Rebecca? Yeah. Rebecca was the younger sister. Y'all help us out, because my mind is. But he wanted the younger sister, but the father said, in order to get the younger sister, you got to marry the older sister first.
But he didn't tell him that.
Yeah.
He just snuck her in.
Yeah.
And swapped them on the wedding night after they got him drunk.
Yeah. And so, but then he had to work another 7 years, but he was willing to wait for the one he wanted.
Yes.
He knew who he wanted.
Yes. So that's why I was saying, women earlier, when men want you,
yes,
they're going to do everything they can to get closer to you. They're not going to put time and distance and objects in front of you that prevent them from seeing you. They're going to do everything they can to remove those things.
Yes. And you will know, because the life that's in the person, it's bringing an illumination. That's the only way I can explain it to the both of you. It's like a light switch was turned on, and it's a whole new spark and a whole new and so
because it's more than a physical attraction.
It's more than a physical.
It's a spiritual attraction. Which means God is in the midst of all of that.
Yes.
And it may be something that you have never felt until you feel it.
Yeah, you would never feel it until you feel it.
No one is going to be able to talk you out of it.
Exactly.
Like, that's
exactly. So when we say don't settle, we're saying don't settle. It could be this close, but if there's any type of unsettling in your spirit, you see You see the warnings, you see the red flags, make a faith move and walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
Absolutely.
Don't settle for, because love is a beautiful thing and it is not hard.
But it's most beautiful when you're with the right person.
It's yes. Yes. And it's not a struggle. It's not confusion. It's none of those things.
Yeah, every relationship is going to have its issues.
Right.
But you don't have a problem. If she and I have a disagreement, I don't have a problem having a disagreement with my wife. Because I know she's the one.
And we resolve conflict over here.
Yeah, so
yes,
it's like, look, I ain't arguing with just anybody.
Yes.
I don't have a problem arguing with her because she's my one.
Exactly. There's a difference. And so, yep. So yeah, y'all make some faith moves, because the faster you do it, the closer you are to the one. Yes. So, all right.
So we appreciate you guys giving us an opportunity to be here for your day, a part of your day.
Mm-hmm.
But we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.
Yes. All right. Deuces.